You guys have so much potential in this lifetime. You have so many things that you can do to get closer to your real life, and yet so many of you guys chuck away this energy by doing things that are unaligned, things that are draining your energy, giving your energy to people that don't deserve your energy, and giving your energy to things that you think are actually making you happier and more successful, but actually aren't, aka number one. These are 4 things that I've personally done that have made the most difference in my whole entire life into ascending into a higher consciousness and becoming a person that is open to receiving my dream life as well as creating my dream life in a healthy way without rushing, releasing control, and opening up that channel for the universe to bring it to me, which is number 4. So number 1 is going to literally be caffeine. Okay, caffeine, you guys, is such a blocker because when you consume caffeine, you can't actually feel your intuition, your emotions very deeply. When caffeine is consumed, it allows neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin to fire more freely, hence why you feel happier and more go-getter energy, and you think it's making you really productive and really super successful. It's making you more productive, but in a very masculine way, and this is the biggest point, by the way, this is very dysregulating. Caffeine literally releases so much adrenaline because it's blocking you from feeling tired. It doesn't give you energy, by the way, it's borrowed energy you're using with caffeine, because that's where you crash later on. You've just used up loads of energy you never had in the first place. Caffeine is literally the worst thing if you're trying to be a conscious human being, achieve your dream life, and actually start getting in tune with your body, getting out of your head, getting out of the stress of everyday life, of like worrying over micromanaging and controlling things. You will never be able to detach from your manifestation if you're consuming caffeine all the time, because this used to be me. When I was manifesting stuff, literally I would consume caffeine, I'd feel on top of the world, but yet I was never able to receive stuff. I was never able to feel the emotions, feel the inspiration or the creativity, because again, it's all logic, it's no creation. And I felt like it was making me good, but really it was just taking me the complete opposite way. There was no intuition, there was no feeling. Whereas now I go to yoga all the time, and now I'm regulated, and all of these good things started happening when I stopped drinking so much caffeine. Literally try cutting out caffeine. If you're that much of an addict, you're gonna feel all the tiredness. Like literally just try cutting out caffeine for a weekend. Allow yourself the weekend to just crash and see how tired you are. See how much energy you have been using, your precious energy, but you've been like borrowing all of this energy rather than recuperating and listening to your body, okay? See how tired you feel. Feel your emotions, trust your intuition, and don't have caffeine all the time. Have it as a special occasion. Number 2 is going to be saying yes to things that you don't truly want. And this is going to come under the people-pleasing nice girl shadow that personally I have struggled with for many years, is doing things to please other people but without realizing it. So if someone was to literally say, are you doing this to like please that person? Like you don't actually have to do this thing. I'll be like, oh no, I don't mind. No, I don't mind doing it. Like that's fine. Like I will do that for them, or I will go there with them, or blah, 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 blah. And then when I actually got to grips with myself, because I started doing the inner work around the nice girl and the people pleaser, half the times I asked myself, this is the journal question I'm going to give you. Ask yourself, am I really doing this because I want to or because I should? The biggest thing for me is I didn't really struggle with this with friends as much, but it was more so with family. I felt like I had to show up to events that I should go to even though I wasn't really bothered. If you're not bothered about doing something or you don't mind, you don't need to waste your energy because you're not going to gain anything out by going there. And at the end of the day, unless it's literally like your mum's birthday, why are you doing something that you genuinely are going to lose money, time, energy on, aka your most precious resources for your dream life, on doing something just to please other people? And by the way, this is part of number 4, but I'm going to integrate something in here with you. People that will have a problem with your boundaries and try and convince you to do something that you don't want to do aren't the people for you, even if they're in your family. They're people that you need to be placing some energetic boundaries with so that you can love them from a distance. Number 3 is removing people from your life that you have to tiptoe around. You will know who this is, or who those people is, who that group is for you. I knew the person that I had to get rid of from my life months ago when I got to truths with myself, and I asked the question, like, what's the one thing that I know I need to do to achieve my dream life? Or like, what's the biggest thing that will make the most difference to achieve my dream life? That's a good way to know. And this person came to my head instantly, and I was like, whoa, that's like really big, and like, oh my God, that's like really ballsy. Like, do I really need to do that? Like, and I couldn't really see how this was related to my dream life. Like, what, another person just existing is like blocking me? Like, what? It's nothing to do with them, and it's everything to do with the energy and the standards that you hold for yourself that then makes the universe reflect back to you that same treatment, and is whether the universe will give you things for you to be able to receive when you're showing the universe that you're settling for this rubbish treatment. So why are you ever going to attract something good when you show the universe, just walk all over me? I'll just lie down and allow you to run right the way over me. This is what, again, I was doing with people-pleasing shadow, but it doesn't have to just be people-pleasing. So if you're watching this video and you're like, I'm not a people-pleaser, remember that the shadow self, the unconscious part of your brain, you will never defend what you are not, but you will always defend what you are. And it's usually the things that you say, I am absolutely not that thing, aka you're getting a little bit triggered already, that you actually are. So you have to remain in a state of curiosity and think, do I do this? / where do I do this? Because the second you say to yourself, I absolutely don't do that, there's no question in your mind, it doesn't go looking for things, you don't become more self-aware. The second you put a full stop at the end of that sentence, instead of putting a question mark and allowing your brain to see where you actually could be doing those things, that is where self-development ends, is when you say, I don't do that. Full stop. Honestly, like I said, it's not really about them consuming your energy. It's about the standards that you hold to yourself. Like, you guys, I have no way of putting into words how good it felt after I removed this person from my life. They weren't draining my energy as such beforehand, but I was literally treating myself badly by keeping them in my life. Like, it's I don't really know how to put it into words, but it's telling your brain what is acceptable in your life. That is the biggest thing that you're going to do. If you want to achieve your dream life, you really do have to exclude everything that is not aligned with that future version of you. If this person isn't part of your life in your dream life because they're going to get triggered by you when you've got all the money or the big house or whatever, they need to go now. Because that is repelling that treatment from the universe. You're repelling self-love by keeping them in your life because your brain knows the treatment you're giving yourself unconsciously. So these are the things that this person is going to be doing. They're going to be triggered by your presence. You're going to need to tiptoe around them in any way possible. Just think very vaguely before I go into details here. The person that is triggered by your presence, that has a problem with anything. So this person, for me, literally, guys, it's so stupid when I think back to it right now. In primary school and in high school, this person, they used to get triggered by my happiness. They would say to me things like, why are you so happy all the time? When you're always laughing, it annoys me. Do you think that person was good for me? Just by that one sentence? No, but I kept them around because I'd known them for like a bajillion years. So they're going to be triggered by your presence. They're going to emotionally dump on you. And when you're not available to be emotionally dumped on, they will have a problem with it. And it'll be your fault because they blame things on you. They will convince you otherwise when you're doing something or saying something that is the opposite to their opinion. They will literally convince you of something when you've said no and set a boundaries. They won't respect your boundaries. Even people that I know, like friends, I've heard them be like, oh, they convinced me to do it. I told them no, but they was like, come on, do it. Come on. And I'm like, they literally don't respect you at all. And you're being a fool by keeping them around. And you are rejecting yourself. So again, it's about the self, right? It's not about giving them your energy and saying yes and going spending time with them when you could be at home doing something productive, which already, yes, that is a good valid reason already to get rid of them. But the main thing is the fact that you reject yourself when you choose them. When you choose their opinion, you break your boundary. You undo any neural pathways of self-development that you've done where you've convinced yourself that you love yourself and you respect yourself and you deserve your dream life. And then you wonder why actually I don't feel like I don't deserve my dream life. Get honest with yourself. Why don't you actually deserve that dream life? It's because you've shown yourself that you will literally settle for anything the second someone says otherwise. You will break your boundary for someone and then you're worried about your worthiness. Because you literally have shown yourself that you have no worth. You're giving it away to everyone else. You break your own boundaries, you neglect yourself, you neglect your worth, and then you wonder why you have issues. So, the next one is going to be you feel you have to explain yourself because they're always so judging. So you know when you're doing something, you can just feel them side-eyeing you, or they just stare deeply into your soul, and you're like, what? I'm just literally X, Y, and Z. Because you can feel them silently judging you. So you feel like you have to over-explain yourself all the time. So my friend that I actually cut out in the end, when I first started my business, initially, literally she had nothing to say. Like, she just didn't give compliments ever. And again, I was very people-pleasing in the fact that I accepted everyone for who they were, but it wasn't from a conscious place. Not like now where I can genuinely accept someone who as they are, but keep them at arm's length if I have to keep them in my life, i.e. family, because pretty much the only people that I have to keep in my life is family because I genuinely cannot get away from them. But if it's a friend, literally keeping them at arm's distance is no point. You may just X them out your life. When I first created my business, they would sit there and essentially say nothing good about the business, and instead they would just say things like, oh, why are you doing it this way, or doesn't this literally mean that you're just doing this, and essentially just judging it and picking it apart because they weren't doing anything good with their life. So you feel like you have to over-explain yourself all the time, and then you go more and more into the people-pleasing nice girl shadow. So then the last one is you feel unsafe being yourself because they are always so gossipy and judgy towards other people. So you wonder why something is off and why your body doesn't feel safe around them and why you don't feel like telling them anything. AKA with my friend, I didn't feel like telling them about my business, even though it literally started to do tens of thousands of pounds every single month in sales, but I didn't feel like telling them. And I was like, oh, it's just because I'm a private person. Like, no, it's because I knew they'd have something to say about it. When you don't feel like telling them anything because you actually feel unsafe, it's because they are so gossipy and judgy towards other people that you know that they're going to be like it towards you. So a massive red flag is now, when people are so gossipy and judgy and negative, like even if I just hear people in public saying things about other people, I instantly get just so turned off by these type of people because I know that the second they have chance to, if I was their friend, they would be saying the same things about me. And your body knows that. And then the last point, number 4, the thing that I removed out of my life to actually progress towards my dream life is doing everything as fast as possible all the time. This screams survival mode. It screams dysregulation. I was so dysregulated and in survival mode and physically couldn't see how. I was like, I don't have a stressful life. My business doesn't stress me out. But yet I was doing everything a million miles an hour in my business. And I was trying to do 1,000 things in one day and trying to get home and do my love things as fast as possible. I was completely dysregulating myself and I was repelling my dream life by saying that things need to be fast, by telling my nervous system to be addicted to stress. You're repelling your dream life because when you've got an activated nervous system and you're constantly in fight or flight, there is physically no room in your nervous system to hold anything good or anything more that you're currently handling because you're already handling too much to the point where it's dysregulating you. How are you ever going to be in a receiving energy to receive anything more than you currently have when you are up to the brim already with stress, with energy, with dysregulation, with tasks? Like when you're rushing all the time, you're telling your brain, I have no room for anything. I have no time for anything because you're rushing. How is this affecting your receiving energy? It's screaming massively wounded feminine and masculine energy because you're blocking the feminine, but you're doing things out of a very rushed way. So you're telling yourself that you don't have enough masculine energy to even do it in an effective way. So you're rushing things. And this is especially for the passive princesses out there, because if you want to have a passive princess life, you have to literally detach from everything that you're doing and slow everything down. When you slow down your entire life, you actually start to hear the calmness. You start to hear the emotions. You start to hear your intuition. You start to flow more because you're not rushing. You become available for more, both externally and internally. So then you start to feel safe with low emotions because you have room to process them. You feel safe receiving nice things, so the universe blesses you often and your manifestations begin to happen faster and in more abundant ways. This is also a way to receive more money if you want to receive more money. There's nothing more dysregulating than doing everything fast. And again, if you say to yourself, I don't do things that are fast, actually turn that into a question and say, where do I do things really fast? And the second I did this, I realized I was literally eating too fast. I was trying to brush my teeth fast. I was trying to, moisturize my face a million miles an hour. And the first step you can actually do is this amazing tip, is to literally just choose one thing in your day every single day to do slower. And see if you get uncomfortable rather. See if you feel uncomfortable. See if you feel agitated, like you just want to do it fast. See if you get bored. Those are all great signs that you are dysregulated and you're getting angry now because something is going slow. So I started to do my moisturizer really slowly, and I started to draw little hearts all over my face. And then I started to rub it in really slowly, and I used my left hand because this is your least dominant hand. So start doing random things with your left hand. I started typing with one hand on my phone. So like my phone was on like the table or on my leg, and I would type with one hand because it forced me to do everything slower. It's so dysregulating when you're switching between tasks all the time, when you're typing things super fast and then you're swiping off the app and you're going on to another app and you're swiping down to check your notifications. How fast do you think your nervous system and your brain has to work when you are doing things so fast? How does it even think of how to do it and what to do next? It has to do all of those processes so much faster when you're on stuff like your phone. So I love watching YouTube on my TV now. Like, it's just so much slower, and you can't just scroll and watch the comments all the time. Like, you have to physically use the TV remote. You can't, where you aren't actually watching the video and you start looking at comments or other videos to watch. You have to watch the video. Or if you click off the video, you've got off the video. Do you know what I mean? And you start to realize where you have been doing things that are multitasking, like going on your phone as well as watching the TV or as well as watching YouTube. And you start to desire doing those things like less, because now you've slowly done things and you've got used to doing it and you've regulated your nervous system a little bit more. One of the signs that you're regulating is you don't desire to do things super fast and you don't desire to do things multitasking all the time. That is a very hustle bro culture, and it is why us women are not receiving to the passive princess life yet. They're also, when you do things as fast as possible, you're also going to be pushing down further repressed emotions and limiting beliefs, because you have physically no time in the day to even get still with yourself, because even just doing a 5-minute meditation is annoying. That's how you know you're dysregulated. How are you ever going to feel your negative emotions? You go to yoga for the first time and you get bored of it because you're so not used to being still. Your mind is so used to being active, productive, doing things fast. And you know what? For me, this wasn't even good because I wasn't even doing good things. I was actually just watching YouTube videos all the time on things to learn. Like, I wanted to learn, and I was majorly spiritually bypassing because I thought I was learning, but yet I was watching 10 to 15 minutes videos back to back to back to back all night long. Do you think I remembered anything from those damn videos? Watching them so fast, back to back, on all these different topics? No, I remembered jack shit. So therefore, I was letting my shadow self come out. I wasn't learning anything. I was completely spiritually bypassing by making out. I was learning things on how to be conscious and manifest and achieve your dream life, but I wasn't. It was the complete opposite. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It just spills into your personal life because then you start doing things wrong in your personal life and you begin to further reject yourself by not spending time with yourself because you want to be doing things all the time that are fast and productive and outside of you, rather than getting to truths with who you are, what your desires are, whether your desire is even authentic or not. You begin to literally just completely, your self-priority is zero. How do you think achieving your dream life and receiving your dream life is going to come when your priority, yourself, is this low on the list of importance? It's not gonna. So I hope you loved the video. Comment down below if you have any questions. Bye!